guy, let me tell you about the greatest professional wrestling game that you can get for your PC. No requirements in terms of needing a good PC and good beefy PC to run it, because the graphics are a bit different than what you might expect. So let me give you a quick rundown of the game, how you can get a hold of it, what it's all about. So this game, Total Extreme Wrestling, is on the 2016 edition. They've had 2013, 2010, which 2010 you can purchase on Steam, by the way. However, if you want the 2013 or 2016 most up-to-date as of this video edition, you should head over to the Grey Dog Software website. Definitely check out the forums, because that's where you'll find most of the mods, such as this. Also skin packs. So if you like this skin pack here, you can also see, oh, there we go. You have some golden age of professional wrestling, and we'll get into all this in a minute. Adam Ryland knows what he's doing. He's the maker of the game. He's been doing this for a long time, since the 90s, alright, when the game was supposed to be more of a card game. And then you had the Extreme Warfare Deluxe, Revenge, all came out. If you want the Total Extreme Wrestling series of the game, I do recommend getting the 2005 edition. It is completely free. They have some great mods for it. However, if you want your game to be as immersive as possible and up to date, get the 2016 edition for $34.99. You won't want to miss it. And if you have that nostalgic feeling of GM mode from 2008 of WWE SmackDown vs. Raw, this will hopefully feel like it will hopefully tie you down, get all the loose ends there, and you'll feel like this is a good investment as a wrestling fan. Take for instance, alright, what if you want to go back to 1997 Montreal, the night of the screw job? It's just taken place. Shawn Michaels is on his way to the top of WWF. He's making headlines. Vince McMahon and Steve Austin, are about to do their thing in terms of the rattlesnake really being unleashed upon the world. Bret Hart, of course, is going over to WCW. You can change history, and not just that, with those two companies, other companies around the world, such as New Japan. So let's just give that a look. Of course, there's multiple updates that come out, so Adam Ryland's very adamant about giving you the best game and still fixing small errors here, there, everywhere. So for instance, let's just put ECWA, because why not? And you can see by the skin pack I'm using, I should have switched over to 1997, what it's meant to be. I'll do that in a minute. Is it will go through, process some stuff depending on how good the RAM is in your computer. For the most part, it's not very GPU based, it's more CPU based, meaning that if you have good RAM, it would definitely benefit in the long run. So let me just cut real quick right here, move this out to Montreal Aftermath ECW. Say for instance, load. Say for instance you wanted to beat WWF and WCW in the Monday Night War. There's a bunch of user characters that you can play as in the beginning, alright? Most of these depend on the mod that you pick. When you first get the game, it's going to have the Cornell verse, because due to copyright reasons, clearly. But the modding scene is very much alive to this day. I just did an interview with one of the greatest modders named Gennady, a part of the mod squad. Definitely check him out. Check out Fleisch, mildly amusing, tons more modders. Anyways, say for instance we wanted to be the one and only Paul Heyman. But what if Paul Heyman wasn't running ECW? Alright? What if instead we had Joey Styles be the guy who ran ECW? Or maybe you want him to be the booker. You can do that. I'll get into all this stuff at a later date, but just right now I want you to see what this game is all about. So of course we're going to play as ECW. We can be the booker, alright? Or you can be the owner. Being the booker allows you to see what the owner wants you to do, who to put over in the end. And basically you have your roster, which you can go across, hire, fire anyone you basically want to. Of course you have the entire wrestling world at a snap of your finger. Now someone like Ric Flair I can't get a hold of because he's down with a written deal with WCW. However, say for instance Rhino, he's a new guy, 1997 might be his breakout year, especially with ECW. We can definitely get him, alright? There's much more I can get into, but let me get into the actual gameplay of this. Like, this is gameplay right here, but what you want to see is the booking of the game. Of course, if you pick up another edition such as 2005 or 2010, 2008, 2013, stuff of that nature, even go back to EWR when it was completely free and they had the WWE of that time to mess around with because it was a free game, things are much different. Clearly, it's going to be off of the bias of the mod maker, how they saw the world and perceived it in terms of stats. For instance, someone like Lance Storm, strong, very strong, high flying is average. I could see that. Physical, excellent. I could see that very much. Entertainment says weak. I would disagree a little bit. I think he was an average entertainer. Now, maybe not during this time, but I think as he progressed, he definitely became very average. He wasn't phenomenal. He wasn't very well known for being an entertainer. He was known for being a professional wrestler. There's so much we can get into, but I just want to give you a quick overlook of what this game is all about and why people are crying for GM mode in 2K17. More of the more recent WWE video games, they want to see the GM mode come back. And the universe mode's okay, but this will definitely hold you over from GM mode forever, in my opinion. And it's even multiplayer. I've had multiple saves with friends. You have up to 8 people going at each other at once. And of course, it doesn't stop them there. You can also have your friends team up with you, going against other companies, starting alliances of that nature, starting packs where you can trade wrestlers. For instance, if I wanted Antonio Inoki to come to WWF, I could sign, or ECW, I could sign an agreement where they could get some of my guys, I'll get some of theirs. So as you see, we have breaking news. The McMahon Brett screwed Brett announcement had occurred. This is some basic stuff saying, hey, we got new goals. So let's take a quick look at them real quick before we go any further. We go to owner goals. You'll see right here, ECW must not fall below regional size at any point. It's critical. When the time expires, ECW must improve upon its company ranking of number 9. I can't hire any wrestler over the age of 35, and I can't get any MMA wrestlers. So that might, hurt me a little bit, but it's average importance. The main stuff is I need to get ECW above that number 9 and need to get it to 8. It's got to happen. As far as regional size, can't fall. ECW must not fall. Of course, we know how it ended, but you can change history. We could literally evolve ECW in a way that it would survive. We'll go up to ECW Hardcore Television. ECW is a company that's more about the cult following, the hardcore nature. Of course, if you're booking WWE, it's more about entertainment and giving the crowd entertainment aspect. So you want to have people who can talk. Here we can get away with that. We can have people who are going to be more towards wrestling, such as Lance Storm, who is a phenomenal wrestler. You also want to look out for small stuff, like the announcers. The big thing is the road agent, these personalities, how they play into everything. Like I said in another video, I will get to every single nitty-gritty detail. But I just want to give that overview as I reiterate once again that this is the greatest professional wrestling game that people are missing out on. And I think it definitely needs to be taken to another step, another stage in its lifespan. Because with the new game coming out of WWE 2K17, people of course wanting a little bit of small stuff, such as the GM mode come back, this is your GM mode that you're missing out on. I think if people really see this and share this and show their friends, hey, just invest a little bit of money, or even, if you don't have the money, that's fine. Go back to 2005, try that out. Of course, you can buy the later games for a cheaper price, but if you want the most up-to-date, the best mods, in my opinion, this is where it's at. 2016. So Backstage, we have some stuff going on. We got Jason Knight and Pitbull 2. Looks like a fight broke out between them, and rental car was damaged. Somebody doesn't want to pay for it, but you gotta pay for it, and you're gonna find him. Of course, he'll be mad at me now. It's okay, one guy will be happy. Lance Storm, Paul Heyman. A new addition to this game is the Wrestler's Court. We will get into that in a much later video, as I said, because there's just so much to get into. Lance Storm brought before the Wrestler's Court, accused of forgetting to shake another worker's hand. Of course, that is shown as a sign of disrespect, and Paul Heyman will say, hey, you're going to buy drinks for your friends. There we go. So we lost a little bit of backstage rating. You got to remember that this is the 90s. Do I want to say people are doing drugs backstage? It might be. You never know. But we'll get to that if it happens during this recording. Of course, the logo was changed in a most recent update. I have to update the skin pack, but that's okay. So, one thing is you can auto book a show. But I don't want to do that. Let's be honest. See? I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to check out what I need to do to have the best show possible for ECW. ECW is a hardcore revolution, meaning we gotta have some females, we gotta have some wrestling, we can have some segments. So let's take a quick look at who's our greatest talkers. So we can definitely start off the show with someone such as a Bam Bam or Paul Heyman. And our big franchise people, definitely Bam Bam again. You know, we have some people who, RVD, great wrestler, so we might main event with RVD, but start off with a Bam Bam or Paul Heyman promo. I think we'll do just that. So we'll start off with a freestyle angle, and we'll have Paul Heyman go out there. And we'll give Paul Heyman full right to just go out there and tell the executives of our network or our television broadcasting what's going on. Following that, we'll go right off the bat an Inferno. Nope. We gotta see, due to the network blocking it, let's do something like maybe, nope, not Live 2 either. Let's see, something not as crazy. A street fight. Street fight's pretty good. We want to be looking for people who are brawlers. Axelrod, clearly a big one, so we'll do him. And let's look for a heel, because you always want to have that face-heel divide. I'm thinking Dudleys. Dudleys are good, however, with the Dudleys, it gets a little tricky because I want to have them in a tag match. So we could start off the show really strong and have RVD and Axelrod. But I think I'll take the chance and I'll use Sabu. He might not be too crazy in this match, but we can definitely give him a look at. Following that, we can do a basic 2-on-2 match to really showcase the wrestling. And as I said, we're doing the Dudley Boys. Of course, they're heels, so we have to look for a face tag team. And the Gangstonators. However, you might want to be careful because it's the 90s. Not saying people are doing drugs, but the game might yell at us if that's the interpretation of the mod maker. So now we need an eye candy match. However, it's tricky because women aren't really wrestling in this database. So, can't really do that. Up next, we have to deal with the Wild Brawl match of the night, which I think will be this one. So they're just going to go full all out. There we go. After this, we'll give an angle, and you want to have the lovely women who are personalities, I believe. Or they're managers. They might be managers, yeah. There they go. We'll give them that, of course, sex appeal, because that's how pro wrestling is. Following that, we'll go one-on-one small match here. I think we'll do a Tommy Dreamer match against a Shane Douglas. Give them 10 minutes before our big main event. Yeah, so we'll have to tweak some stuff. Our big main event, of course, will be a cage match. Cage match. I'm a big fan of cage matches, but Last Man Standing caught my eye, so we'll go with that. So essentially with this game, you're just booking, but it gets more in depth than just booking the stuff, and it plays a bigger role in how you interpret the game. Some people might say that they don't have a crazy imagination, so they can't really see how this game fares compared to something with graphically demanding look to it. So we have 15 minutes there. Let's put the title on the line, why not? So put the World Television title on the line. We'll do 5 minutes here. Yep, so that happened. So we gotta keep that at 10 minutes. This match will go down to about 5 minutes. It'll be a bit more of a squash match. Paul Heyman, you're gonna get cut by 1 whole minute. So there's our show. However, since we don't have that eye candy match, but you can still run the show. So here's our show. It is ECW. Kicking off, Paul Heyman goes out there. He's all devoted to the product, basically. And you can create your own story saying whatever he wants to say. You can even edit this and be like, Paul Heyman trashes WCW. And you can go all into it. I, for one, like to think of the story in my mind and just say it. I don't like to type it, but I know a whole bunch of other TW Let's Players, YouTubers, they love to do that. Following that, we have Axelrod and Sabu. Fairly decent match. Sabu gets the win with the triple jump moonsault. It even says right there, he debuted a new thing, which we'll get into in a later video, of course, because there's just so much to get into. I want to give you a brief look of this game. Next up, we see Dudley Boyz getting the win over the Gangstonators. And you can see someone was drunk and high on drugs, so that is the extent of how we would have to deal with that situation when it comes across. This segment was pretty good because haha, why wasn't it good? Next up, Shane Douglas and Tommy Dreamer was good because haha, Shane Douglas, Tommy Dreamer, duh. And then our main event for the ECW World Television title, Taz gets the win because Taz is a shoot fighter, choking out RVD and then hitting the T-bone suplex. So that was our show, and you can see that the crowd was a little disappointed that we didn't have the eye candy, but it increased our popularity in 2 regions. More people are seeing our product, and of course you have to deal with the money and finances and stuff of that nature. Anyways, everybody, if you enjoyed this, if you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. I would definitely respond to them and tell you everything you need to know about this game, because I've been playing TW video games for a very long time now, and I think I have the knowledge to help out people in the community some more. I think we're trying to expand the community this year. So anyways, everybody, keep it safe, and until the next time we meet.